over. What you cooking, man?
What's up, everybody? Top of the morning to you. Trey Griggs here with Iron Minds. You got Michael Lombard, Nick Klingsmith in the house, and Tiger today joining us. Look at this. Look at Tiger. What's up, Tiger? Tiger's ready to go this morning. What's up, fellas?
Tiger, what's happening? Good morning. Good morning.
Tiger decided to get up with me this morning because everybody's sleeping today because today is the first day of no school. Summer break is officially in session here in St. Louis, and so everyone is in bed.
Nice.
So he decided to join me this morning for the workout. And shout out to our friends over at Sunrise Logistics for the apparel. Look at that. Nice job. Whew, Lombard.
I got to tell you, the funny thing is I have that T-shirt laid out to wear for me today.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to our friend Mike Diamond for hooking us up at BCS in Indianapolis for that. So
is your name
he was passing these things out like candy. So it was all good. We also had the Indy 500 this past weekend. A lot of controversy in that, but the most watched Indy 500 in the last 7 years. Great race. And I just got back from London last night at 10:15. So it's quite the 5-day weekend for myself. Going over to the Britain to do a little barbershop singing. It's a pretty good time over there. So it's all good.
Dude, I was just saying before the show, you were the first person I ever met who does that. That is so unique and cool. How does one find their way into such a thing?
Well, so my story is I was singing in high school in what's called a chamber choir, 12 girls, 12 guys, and so it's kind of a special choir within the larger concert choir at the school. And three of the seniors when I was a junior wanted to form a barbershop quartet for our talent show at the end of the year, and they needed a fourth person to sing baritone. They invited me in to sing baritone. That's my introduction to barbershop. I'd never heard of the genre before. And so I sang a little bit in high school, and then I went 25 years without ever seeing barbershop again until 2023 when my daughter was in a theater production, and I was dropping her off for her rehearsals. And I was sitting in my car for 3 hours just waiting for her to finish because it was like 45 minutes from home. It wasn't worth driving to and there twice in the night. And then I remembered that there was this barbershop, chorus in St. Louis, in St. Charles, and I just happened to look them up online. Found out that they had rehearsals the same night my daughter did, so I started just going to rehearsals just to check it out and to listen. Wasn't even planning on being in the choir, just to listen. And then the third week that I went to listen, the director was like, "Hey, do you want to get up on the risers and sing with us?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I want to do that." So they gave me some music. I got up there, started singing, and then it just, it led to joining the course. Now that was my entry into it. I think most people find barbershop through friends. It's community. It's, hey, you like to sing, I like to sing. Why don't you come check this thing out? And that's how most of our visitors each week that come and sing with us, that's how they find us, is that, one of the members invites us to come and sing. And it's a great group of guys, about 120 of us. Do it, and every Thursday from 7 to 10. So it's a pretty decent commitment, and we're one of the best, if not the best, barbershop choirs in the world. We've won the international competition 5 times in the last 20 years, and it's a pleasure to be there because we have one of the best conductors, most renowned conductors, directors in the world, Jim Henry. We have the best barbershop arranger of all time in David Wright, who arranges all of our music. And those guys just maintain a really high standard. So when you go to rehearsal, it's just incredibly high standard. There's something about being around people who are pushing each other to be great that's kind of intoxicating. It's very attractive. And so it's really fun every Thursday night to go to rehearsal with these guys who are just average guys, average Joes. We're all just, doing our jobs. But we come to rehearsal on Thursday nights and we get after it and we create really beautiful music. But the standard is so high. I mean, like we get some things wrong, we stop, we fix it, we stop, we fix it, we work on it. And it ends up being really, really fun. And so I'll put the link that, there's a stream to our show on Sunday. And I'll put the link in the comments so anybody can watch it and see kind of what we're talking about. But it was really, really fun. So had a good time with that. That's a long and winded answer of how I get in the barbershop. Good morning, Jessica Howington. How are you? Good to see you.
Well, I think it's very cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, pretty neat, pretty exciting and enjoyable experience. But I'll grab the link real quick and I'll throw it in here so everybody can check that out. So yeah, here it is. I got it right here. So there's also a quartet called Vocal Spectrum that comes out of our chorus, and they sang as well as a part of the show. So we had basically a 2-hour show as the headliners for the event. So that was pretty cool. All right, there we go. I just want to put it in the chat there for anybody who wants to see it on, especially on YouTube. If you go to our YouTube, go to Iron Mind's YouTube, and you can see the link that I put into the comments of the show there. Yeah, it was pretty fun. We had a good time.
Awesomeness.
Yep. And I'm a front row dancer, We got to do all kinds of choreography and stuff like that. You'll see it all when you watch the YouTube link. That was good. Our friend Pedro is not with us this morning, or not yet. Maybe he'll join us later. Hopefully,
I tried goading him. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Oh, yeah. I didn't get to stretch a whole lot on this trip. I was sitting on the plane for a long time. So I got physical therapy tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll keep working on the shoulder and get it better and better. But it's all good.
Yeah, man. I'm riding a pretty big high from this weekend. Especially, I learned a lot from Saturday going into Sunday night. I was looking forward to talking about it this morning. On Saturday, I went to a race. Man, what is that noise?
Is it coming from me? It might be the guys getting the lawnmower in the background. I'm walking away from it if it is.
Sounds like a spaceship. But this on Saturday, so Nick Bear, who's the CEO, founder of BPN, who makes the products that I take like during Ironman races, like the fuel. He hosted a last man standing ultra marathon, and the way the concept works is that you have to run 4.2 miles every hour on the hour. So if you run 4.2 miles in 55 minutes, you have 5 minutes of rest, and then you run another 4.2 miles, and you go until there's one person left. And my friend Billy participated in it, and he carried the American flag the whole time. And I think the biggest lesson to take away is, so Billy did this, and this is for anybody watching who once again lacks belief in themselves. My friend Billy, he's done ultras before. He's done a 100-miler, but he hasn't done anything remotely close in the past 17 months. And he was doing this anyways. He barely cracks 25 miles a week. He has an 18-month-old son. He owns his own business where he's a contractor. He built Nick Bear's barn. He works 12-hour days out in the Texas sun. His only advantage was that he's heat acclimated. And he still did the race, and he still did 13 laps. So he went over 54 miles carrying the American flag.
13 hours.
I was on his crew. And he hasn't even ran a marathon. He hasn't ran longer than 13 miles since in 18 months. He never even ran a marathon, and he just went out and did 54 miles, which is pretty wild. And again, not only that, you still had to do that 4.2 miles in a time crunch. So he made those 13 laps in under the hour each and every single time before, and he would have kept going, but again, he didn't train, and so his nutrition wasn't dialed, and he was on the verge of having some severe digestive issues.
Still, it's incredible though.
So it's 13 hours he was out there getting it in.
American flag.
and carrying the American flag in the wind. And the race started at noon. I want to tell you, the race started at noon in Texas. It's hot. And what's crazy is, I'll tell you, the crazier part is that race was still going on last night at around 7:30. There was horrible storms that rolled through, so they, for safety reasons, they put it on pause. But there were two guys still running. They have over 220 miles they ran.
Oh
So the
my
race,
God.
what's interesting about that concept of race
That's
is it
crazy.
isn't about, it has nothing to do with speed. It has everything to do with how long you can go without quitting. And Nick Bear said it best when, because everybody who did the race who tapped out gets a medal that says DNF on it, did not finish, except the one finisher. And but the reason why you give that medal is when you do actually DNF and ring the bell, to remember the moment in time in which you quit and how it got you there. But the whole euphemism behind it is about not dying in the chair. Like, you need to either let the course rules take you down, or like you don't make the 1 hour cutoff. Like, you need to get, like,
Right.
it's a reminder that you need to go to your absolute limit before you tap out at something like that.
I love that, dude. That's great. That's awesome, man. That is a pretty neat concept. So there are two guys that are still going, and they're going to continue it when the weather gets better. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, no, so they did, like, I guess both of the runners, they ended up, they're going to let it be between that. They're going to share the title of winning that race. And again, there's no glory in it. There's no prize money. There was nothing. They just do it just to do it. But yeah, there were such bad storms, and they said that the two guys are going to, like, split the title for it. What's crazy is they were going for over 125 miles after the third place guy quit. They were still going.
Wow.
That's like world's toughest mudder. The guys who won did 115 miles, and that's with 20 obstacles a lap.
And
Like,
they were going live. So BPN's Instagram channel was going live every hour to show where the runners were at. And one of the guys running looked at the camera and said, "If I go back out there, I'm going to pass out." And then when it was like 30 seconds out from the next lap to start, he looked at the camera and said, "I don't know why I said that." And then he went right back out.
I like that.
Like, absolute human resilience. Like, it's where you see is seeing it firsthand, people who will not quit. Like, we rallied this one guy, Dalton, who was like, "I'm not gonna," like, he's like, that's it, and we turned him around, and we were just gassing him up, and he went right back out. Like, he went right back out. Like, it's the ultimate display of human resilience I got to see this weekend, and it was definitely life changing.
Jessica thought you were going to talk about the marathon.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to fuel that to use that as your fuel for your sprint yesterday, right?
Oh yeah, totally gassed me up. Like, I've never done a sprint triathlon, never really been able to, put the speed down on a triathlon that short, and wound up snagging second in my age group, 18th overall. Really, really great time to think about. 113.
I saw you up on the podium.
Yeah, it's it's a new thing. I'm incredibly proud of being able to, move my body in such a way that quick. It took a long time to get here, and I'm excited for more. I'm hungry for more.
I love it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, Nick, what's been on your plate lately, my friend?
Man, you went to England to do some singing. Lombard went to the last man standing and did a sprint triathlon. And the highlight of my weekend is I got to go see Jaws in the theater.
Really?
It was
back
actually
in the theater. Was it the remake,
really
or was
cool.
it
the
original?
No, if they do a remake, dude, I am done with Hollywood forever. It's a 50th anniversary of Jaws, and they were actually
nice. Okay.
didn't actually come out until June, but at this old Tampa theater, and I mean 100 years old, they're having like a summer series where they're hosting a bunch of old movies and stuff, and they had Jaws play, so it was really cool because it's my favorite movie. I was filmed where I grew up. My dad's first security guard was actually guarding the mechanical shark. So yeah, we went to that. It was That was cool. That really was probably part of the highlight of my weekend. I was really excited about that.
That's cool. That's awesome.
And we're back in the streets because I've been battling injuries.
So you lived near where it was filmed, is what you said. Is that right?
I was born and raised right where it was filmed.
Where was it filmed?
Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, really? Was it really?
Damn, that's a fun fact. I had no idea.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
The first one was filmed on the vineyard. Most of the second one was filmed in the vineyard. Some was filmed in different areas. The third one was an abomination we don't talk about. And then the fourth one was actually, the first half was filmed on the vineyard. The second half was filmed in the Bahamas. And I remember that one in particular because I was about 7 years old. I remember seeing it in the theater when it was filmed. But what was really cool is my uncle used to own a taxi company on the island called John's Taxi. And so he actually has a scene in Jaws 4. So in the beginning of the movie, when like the family's arriving on the island, you can see John's taxi dropping off one of the family members at the house. And for the next like 3 summers, you couldn't turn your head without seeing like a movie poster somewhere that said, "Ride the taxi you saw in the movies." And had his name and number up there. It was great.
Good marketing. Good job of taking advantage of that. Yeah. Put a big Jaws on the back on the side of the
really
taxi.
Was the movie poster with his with his name and phone number on it.
Nice. That's awesome. Speaking of old movies, I flew from London all the way to Charlotte yesterday, and that's like a 7 or 8 hour flight. I can't remember. It was a very long flight, and I watched 3 movies, including, speaking of older movies, the 25-year anniversary of Titanic was this year, and I watched that. And it's amazing how young like Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet look. They're really young in that movie. But I saw that one and saw Ronald Reagan, the movie with Dennis Quaid in it. That was a pretty good movie. But I watched 3 movies on the way home. Crazy. It's a long flight.
Oh, Lombard, I watched Transformers last night. I had to. You inspired me.
I can't lie. When it comes to Transformers, there's a reason why I like that movie so much.
That movie holds up.
And people can disagree with this, but like especially the first 2, for the most part, is like so the movie themselves. It's just, and I don't like using the term, but it is without a doubt the best piece of propaganda there is, and we need more movies like that. Like it is an absolute like just how they feel in the movie. It's a nonstop military recruitment ad. It puts American excellence on display at all times. Like everything from like just the cutscenes that like they debuted the new Camaro in it. They arguably chose the greatest looking actress of the time to be in the movie, and for the most average guy out there, and just like how they piece it together. It does, and it's a feel good story. It's a good versus evil story. There's like it makes the United States look in the morally superior sense of wanting to do the right thing, and it's just like it makes you feel good, and it gets you pumped up. Like it just off of the showing of all the cars that they are. Like Optimus Prime isn't a freaking he's a Peterbilt 379. Like nothing should get you more fired up than seeing Optimus Prime. Nothing should get you more fired up for summer and the 4th of July, like watching the first Transformers. They got the jets out there. They're bringing the rain that entire movie, and it absolutely fires me up. Fired me up for that freaking sprint triathlon yesterday. It's a go-to movie, and we need more of that. We need more positive, feel-good movies that are pro-America, that make people feel good about where they are, where they live.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I saw you had that, and I had to watch it. I was like, dude, I haven't seen that in a while, and that is one of my go-to movies.
Speaking of American military and whatnot, I saw recently that our recruiting numbers are up in the military, which is a great sign. People are wanting to volunteer and be a part of the military and defending freedom, and that's cool. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, like it's a movie that makes you want to be better. Like when you watch that movie, it makes you be like, man, I want to be like I should be trying to be like that. Like I should be trying to be a hero. I should be doing the right thing. Like because it shows the U.S. military, shows all of the equipment, shows it's a straight up recruitment ad, but in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, one of the other movies that I watched was Top Gun Maverick, another feel good movie.
Nice.
One of the better sequels that's ever been made, and also very pro America, pro military, and pretty good film on the whole. So go to watch that one as well. It's good.
I mean, they just go along with a lot of what Nick said at Broken Terror Summit, like that. You know, it's a main stage. It gets a lot of eyes in front of people because it's a popular movie that doesn't preach having that victim mindset, like of choosing to not stay a victim. It's very easy to get caught in that victim mindset, just like how it's very easy for any of those runners at that race to quit, to tap out, to think that they're done. It's very easy to think that way, and it's the easiest thing in the world to stay defeated, stay in a victim mindset, when really the most resilient thing you can do that always ends up in success is by not quitting.
Yeah, just keep showing up. Hey, buddy. Hey, we're gonna leave you on down here. Oh, come on, Tiger. Come on. Tiger's trying to get his licks in over here. This dog's so often do. Oh, now he's going underneath.
Other than that, I did get my workout in yesterday. You know, I have been dealing with some plaguing injuries, but I went out, got a very slow, but went for an hour-long run yesterday. And then I did manage to get over in the pool. And I kind of thought Memorial Day was going to be dead at the gym, but I forgot I live in God's waiting room, and the pool was populated with 80-year-olds, so it took me a minute to get my workout in. But but I did jump in and managed to get an 800-yard swim, and then did a little strengthening exercise. I basically worked out for like 4 straight hours when I woke up yesterday because I wasn't in a rush. I wasn't in a rush otherwise, so that was a nice way to kick off the day for me.
Yeah. That is nice. Pool is opened up here. My daughter went swimming already. That's one of her favorite things to do. In a different life, I probably should have looked for a house with a pool. She would have loved that. She'd have been out there swimming every day and would have been off the couch a little bit more often. So glad that's open for her. She has to enjoy that for the next week and a half before we head to Oregon. Speaking of which, next week I'm not going to be able to be here, so we're going to have to figure out how to get controls. My daughter and I are going to Orlando to scout out the next golf course for the Broken Terror Summit. We're going to be on a plane this time next year, coming home. So, or this next week. So, I'll have to figure out how to give the controls over to somebody to turn this thing on and off. We'll figure it out, people. We'll figure it out.
We're smart. Iron sharpens iron. We can figure it out.
That's right. Jessica, you want to produce this show next week? It's real easy. Super easy. We'll figure it out. Oh, no problem. Yep.
I mean, we got a couple smart podcasting guys here, and then me who forgets to hit go live on my Instagram stream half the time.
Gentlemen, lest we forget about it, the most important thing this week was that yesterday and this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, when we remember those who fell in the line of duty and serving our country. And we were going to have Courtney George on this morning to talk about Wreaths Across America. She's not feeling well, so we'll try to get her on next week to chat a little bit about Wreaths Across America and what they're doing. But, also a time to say thank you to all of our military veterans, their families, especially those that gave the last full measure of devotion in support of our freedoms and freedom around the world. And so shout out to our military, our veterans, families who sacrificed with them. Another movie that I saw too, man, I didn't think about it. I watched American Sniper, the movie with, about Chris Kyle.
The book was phenomenal.
Sniper. Yeah, just a incredible movie talking about that and just what he did. You don't realize, when people sign up to go and serve in very difficult places around the world, whether they make it home or not, it always, forever alters them and their life, their mindset. People in the military, people that have served in tough places have seen things that, nobody wishes on their worst enemy to have to see or go through. So again, just thank you to all of our veterans and their families who have sacrificed so much for our freedom, specifically those who fell in the line of service. in their duty. So
yeah, definitely wanted to touch on that this morning because Memorial Day is definitely pretty special. One of my good friends who I served with, he was in my unit. We went to Afghanistan. He was a dog handler. He was KIA on December 21st, 2010, near the Kajaki Dam in Afghanistan, and basically, and a lot of big motivator in what I do, because number one, I fell off for so many years after 2012, and now Memorial Day sounds so much more, because when it comes to Memorial Day, and this is what I try to tell people, what's the most important about it, it's like, yes, I get, a lot of people rally, a lot of people do the Murph workout, a lot of people do certain things, but it's not really about one day. It's about how you carry yourself every day. Because I could tell you that Billy Krause, my friend, he wouldn't want Memorial Day to be about him, like without a doubt. He would want people to enjoy it. But what I know is, and what I believe is the right thing to do is, is instead of just taking that one day, every day you should be trying to live. You should be trying to live your life as somebody. Like, I'm trying to put this into words. But the best way to honor the fallen veterans, and the best way to honor Memorial Day, is to be trying to be somebody worth sacrificing for. And that's how you need to conduct yourself in everything you do per day. Is am I somebody worth dying for? Like, where somebody will do that for you. Am I giving it my all? Am I going all the way? Am I living my best life, my purpose? If you're not living for yourself, if you're not being somebody worth, then what did they sacrifice themselves for? If you're just going to blow off and blow through all the potential that you have and all your capabilities, what you can be, because you're like too scared, or because you think it's too hard, it's I don't find that satisfactory anymore for it, for not to be out there locking in and chasing your dreams and chasing what you want and chasing greatness.
Yeah, I mean, people all across the world would love to have the freedoms that we have to do what we get to do over here in America. And how often do we just just ruin that, just spoil it?
I get it. We've got some issues in the country. There's plenty to complain about. I understand. We're trying to solve those issues. That's the long game. But we can sit here and keep complaining about them, or we can continue to get better, so that way we can actually get after some real change. Like, I get it. We've got healthcare, we've got stuff, we've got issues going on in this country. That doesn't mean you get a free pass to sit back and be like, well, everything else sucks, there's nothing I can do, I'm gonna be a piece of shit about it myself. Like, there's no excuse behind that. You still should be somebody worth sacrificing for. That's just how I feel about it.
It goes back to what you just said about the victim mindset. When we start using external situations and circumstances as excuses to not do or be our best, that's just victimhood. That's just excuses. It's just the lies we tell ourselves.
Well, everybody.
We're about to have a special guest. Say hi to a crazy dog. Hi,
I know. What's up, Tiger?
Hi,
little
buddy.
Tiger. Yeah, Tiger's a mini golden doodle, a mini golden doodle. He's 25 pounds or so, something like that. Pretty good dog. We wanted a dog that was big enough that we wouldn't step on him, like wouldn't lose sight of him, but small enough that we could pick him up if we had to, and turned out perfect. Worked out really, really good, which is awesome. All right, gentlemen, so what's on the schedule for this week? What do you guys got going? Let's inspire the folks to get moving.
Let's see, schedule this week. I'm gonna hit a workout right after this. I'm gonna start ramping up some running miles outside, and continue to stay moving. Again, I'm on a streak of 10,000 steps or more per day. I think it's a very doable streak for anybody else. I'm thinking about, I don't know, I have a lot of friends who are on a run streak, and I feel like that this is something great way to keep yourself locked in. Like, a friend of mine, he's 300 days into running at least 1 mile a day. And I feel like if you set out to do a challenge like that, similar to changing up your diet, following a meal plan, if you can commit to doing one thing a day like that, where you run 1 mile per day, I might start doing that type of run streak too, or at least getting out for a certain little extra bonus movement. Yeah, we're just locking in. We're rolling forward. I'm ready to start building back for the Serbia race, and yeah, rocking it with Truck Parking Club. I got a lot of people to talk to this week. Yeah, I mean we're rolling. I'm gonna ride this high off the sprint triathlon and keep building up and find a couple other small tries in the region. Sign up for those and just get dialed up and ready to rock.
Dude, I love that. 1 mile a day, it could be half mile a day. It doesn't have to be anything large. Man, you just commit to that, be consistent with it. That's a great little way just to get rock and roll and get started. Oh, I forgot to mention this when I was in London on Thursday. Walked 35,000 steps in one day. That was a crazy day. So I got off the plane 9:30, and we walked everywhere in London. We only took the train, I think, one time to kind of switch positions. But every other place we were walking the whole place. Got to go see Tower of London, Westminster Abbey, Buckingham Palace, just so many different things. The Tower Bridge, the London Bridge, the oldest church in England. Well, that was pretty cool. You could see that building. It wasn't a big building at all. It was actually quite small. But just got to see so much stuff. But 35,000 steps that day. That was after getting off a flight, so that was pretty wild to do that. But I love hearing little things like a mile a day. I've got some friends who do 5K a day, whether it's a run or a walk. Just getting 5K in every day. Whatever it might be. Those things are pretty cool. Nick, what do you got going this week?
Man, we are getting back after it, which is good. So I'll also be working out, getting my runs in. I'm going to get back on the bike this week. Hope to get back in the golf this week. So 70.3 training is underway. Work-wise, I'm actually just most excited to put my salesperson hat on this week. I've taken a lot of things over the last few weeks and sort of packaged up some videos, been updating my bio on my website, and I am ready to go out and search and hunt in the next several speaking gigs. So I'm actually excited to get to work today.
Well, I can say this, folks, if you've got any kind of corporate gigs or conferences coming up and there's somebody to really bring the fire, both of these guys are phenomenal, including Nick in particular, who really brought it. It's Broken Carrier Summit. And you should hire him. Just throw it out there. You should hire him.
Yeah. Before we sign off, I did want to mention, like, I gave a great presentation at the TXTA East Texas chapter meeting. Right, yeah. And the reason why it was so received so well, and because that was last week's show, is they,
Oops.
Oh no! Why?
Three and a bunch. The reason why it was received so well is do that again.
Is because so the reason why it was received so well is because I wasn't selling anything. Like, I had nothing to sell. I have nothing to sell but my story and information and growing a community with it. And it's just, if you want to start stacking wins in the W column, guess what? That's free of charge. Friendship and community costs zero, is free 99. And that's what I have. I have motivation and inspiration to hopefully get you to get up. Yeah, I can't put a price tag on it. I would rather just see people win, help them win. And that's what Iron Minds is trying to do. That's what everything we're trying to do is change the culture. And then guess what? I know we want to monetize everything. I can't monetize it. But, you could start monetizing your life if you start getting 1% better daily.
Yeah, love that. Love to hear that. And that's what we're doing right here on Iron Minds. Find your community, find your tribe. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Fellas, good to see you again this morning. Again, we'll figure out next week. We'll be back next week with more Iron Minds. And we'll see you guys at that point. Until next time, gentlemen, a pleasure, as always. Peace out. See you guys.